We're here for the build and monetize your guided meditations website training. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you about today. We're going to talk about putting together a website with the meditations that you guys have in the guided meditation kit and trying to make it super easy for you, giving you a really good starting point where you can just go on from there. What we're going to cover today is we created a Noomu template. You may know that by now. And if you don't use Noomu, that's okay. It's going to be still look at the template as being an example for you. So if you're going to build on WordPress or any other platform, then the concepts will still translate over there. But using the actual website that we've already created as an example will make it clearer to you. And if you don't use Noomu, of course, there is no pressure to do, but I would love to suggest if you're held back by tech or back by time where you don't have the time to figure out the tech, do all the content creation, putting up all, even if you have done free content, you still have to put things together, right? But if you're held back by those things, we've done this work and the meditations website is not meant to be the end all be all. It's your canvas, right? It's got all this stuff ready for you and you just grow it from there. And if you already have a website built on another platform, you can use a subdomain of your domain. Say you want to keep the branding the same. You can continue to have your main website wherever you have it and use Noomu as a subdomain or create another domain that has a similar branding or however you want to do it. But it doesn't matter. Wherever you do it, this will all be useful. So the things we're going to cover today is we're going to talk about really figuring out your niche as well. Obviously, guided meditations is like a topic, but within that, guided meditations fit so many different things. And the more you can get specific about who you are targeting, the easier it's going to be to attract their attention and keep them engaged because there's lots of people out there doing meditations and you want to set yourself apart. So we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about structuring your guided meditations website. And of course, we'll use our template as an example. And again, just see that as an example. If you're not going to use it, this is still going to be super valuable to you. Talking about creating simple opt-ins to grow your list, because that is still the important key to your business growth. Yes, social media is important. And there is also other ways to grab traffic and to build audiences, but growing your mailing list is still key because it's a list that you own. It's not dependent on those nasty algorithms. So it's an important part. And we try to make that super easy for you as well. Also, we'll talk about creating products or digital downloads, different types of products, programs, and stuff like that so that you can monetize your site. And also including finding monetizing through affiliate programs and stuff like that because you want, and we'll talk about like how to structure it so that you're creating content that is engaging, but also naturally promotes your products. And I also did promise you guys some tools that I plan to share, and it includes the brainstorming sheet. And there's a checklist also, and a monetization idea list, including some affiliate program suggestions that we made for you. So that'll be a handy tool. I'll hand that out near the end, but it'll help you go through everything we talked about here and stay on track as well. I'll also share links with you to a variety of tools. And what in the next day or two, you'll find that in your members area. So you'll just log back in where you are right now, and you will see there'll be a new lesson added at the bottom. It'll have this recording. I think people are asking that in the chat. And we will also have all the tools. You won't miss any of the links. Everything will be there for you. So let's get started. Are we all okay? We're ready to go. I think we're all right. Ready. There's a replay. We have the same in it. Okay. All right. All right. Alina, I'll show you the website. I'm not sure if you're asking about what Noomu is or what the website is, but we'll show you. So we've created a template for you that you can work with or model if you're going to be creating your own website. Let's talk about this niche thing and really figuring out who your audience is. And I think that if you think about it, is everybody who wants meditations for these different topics, are they your audience? Sure, they could be. But what's going to attract them to you? What's going to make them want to hang around and be a part of your community? So I think guided meditations apply to everybody. And I can't even think of the things. If you're already built an audience who are interested in a certain topic or they have a certain profession or something like that can be your audience because meditations apply to overwhelmed professionals or just professionals who want to go to the next level, right? Parents, busy parents, athletes, creative people, students, everybody, and where it fits in for you. We can also brainstorm that at the end too. We'll do questions and stuff like that if you're trying to figure out exactly where they are. And when you think of that audience and you structure or update your website to keep them in mind, it'll make a big difference. If you can speak to the busy parent who is super frustrated and you're offering her a free meditation journal or something like that, you can speak to the frustrations that exhausted mothers may have, or that the feeling they don't have time for themselves, that you speak to the fact that these short meditations can make a big difference and all they need is 5 minutes of their time. So you can see that by changing things to reach a certain audience, they will be more likely to be interested because the fact of the matter is the internet is filled with tons of content. Guided meditations, there are some really big sites out there getting a lot of the traffic, and they're the kind of more the household type of names. But by doing something a little different, you'll stand out. So speak directly to their goals, their struggles, what they want to get out of it, right? Incorporate that into all your pages, even where you post your meditations, or even changing the names of the meditations or even the content as well. You can also change the categories of things. In the guided meditation kit, you have personal development meditations, you have financial ones, but changing it so that the names appeal to your audience. And of course, when we look at the website, you can see it's got these soft muted colors and things like that, but you can also figure out what kind of color scheme will appeal to your audience. Obviously, athletes there would be different visuals. And if you use ChatGPT or any kind of AI tool, they can help you brainstorm colors. I have found that color palettes, which in Noomu, if you're using Noomu, it's easy to update your color palette. And I will hopefully show you that. And if I do forget, just remind me. But I have done that many times where I've always struggled with what colors go with what colors. How does this work? But ChatGPT, you tell them the background of your audience and what kind of colors they would suggest. And they can make a whole palette for you. And you can tell them, I don't like this. This is too dark. This is too light. And it'll adjust and stuff. It's really cool, actually, so that you can get the real look and feel that you want. So, some tips for authenticity and trust as you're building your audience. You want them to pay attention, you want them to come back. I think that one of the best things that you can do as an independent entrepreneur is really just be like the part, if you're often the part of the audience, right? If, and you don't have to be, but let's say you do that one for the busy moms and you happen to be a busy mom, you're just like the guide that's a little bit of further ahead that is trying to giving them the guidance they need to start using meditations and finding time for themselves and self-care and also relieving stress and anxiety and stuff like that. You don't have to be this big guru to have a guided meditations website. When you're talking to them, also focus on that transformation, the things that they're going to see. I assume that if you got the guided meditations kit, you know the power of meditation. Or if you don't, start using the meditations and learn that as well. And help them focus on what difference it can make in their life. What is that transformation they'll feel? What will their day look like as a busy professional, as an overwhelmed mother, as an athlete who's trying to go to the next level? Think about those kinds of things. And of course, you want your about page to reflect that, like how you help people and all your different content. Really speak to that audience. And also, when you get feedback from people, try to feature that on your site. If they received some transformation or they just liked it, ask if you can publish their content. And also use the comment, having a comment section readily. And in Noomu, you can add a comments box to any page. So if you post your meditations, there can be comments there. Obviously, you post them on YouTube or other places, there's also comments there. But just adding in that sort of community type stuff and really encouraging sending out, if you've got a mailing list, sending out your meditations, asking people to leave comments. So it it has that community feel, right? That people feel they can participate. You can also recruit people to help you out and ask them to watch the meditations, leave comments for you, what they think, but ask them to do honest comments and stuff like that. But having them seeing that other people are using stuff and benefiting from it will make them feel more welcome. And I think, yeah, like staying accessible to your audience is probably is probably more important than ever, but I think it's always been important. So you could have live events, you can have community stuff. And if that's like, you're like, I don't want to do all that stuff, that's okay too. But it just adds more connection because I think people are overwhelmed with lots of options for content, lots of options to be distracted and not create this calm in their lives. So the more you can connect with them personally or some member of your team or your partner, if you have a partner on this project, the more there is interaction, the more they're going to keep coming back to you. If it's all right with you guys, let's maybe take a quick peek at the chat. Do you recommend having more freebie meditations or selling or both? I would say that meditations, like individual meditations, are available free a lot of places, right? So if you're going to turn it into a paid product, I think there needs to be maybe a collection of meditations that brings them through different phases of something. Or perhaps there's also a journal or a workbook that goes with it, some tools and stuff like that. I think that's going to be important. Like, I don't think you could take these 50 meditations and just sell 50 of them and think that like people are going to purchase that. And that's not where it will be. And you have to offer some kind of unique benefit to them and something that maybe they can't just go find everywhere else. That doesn't mean it has to be a huge product either. It just means that you need to differentiate something that's worth purchasing, showing how it's going to save them more time. Maybe it's in a easy or to use format. I'm not sure what it would be, but yeah. So Danyan says short tasters can be free so they can learn your voice and phrasing, then full length offerings could be paid. Also, yeah, if it is a longer meditation and they got some tools with it and stuff like that, that totally makes perfect sense. So if you guys give me 1 second, we're going to start talking about structuring your guided meditations website. And I may as well just show the screen and I'll show you the template that we've been working on. And we'll use that as an example. We'll do some good stuff and I'll make sure that I answer all your questions. So if you put something in the chat and I miss it later, no problem. All right, so let's get this going. All right, so this is the website that we have created for you. And we did do a little tour and there is a complete tutorial that will walk you through everything. And so I don't want to go and spend all the time doing that. I want to give you ideas on how you can do this. So obviously, when you're creating a guided meditations website, you need to know what your focus, what you want to share with people. Is it going to be like this big library and you want to just build lots of traffic and they get free meditations and maybe there's ads on your site or something like that? Or do you want it to be more focused on programs and courses where you might not have as many meditations up front for free, but it's more about learning about meditating and things like that. And then you have these coaching programs or something. It's totally up to you. In this case, we put a site together that has a meditations library. It has a shop that has some planners in it, and it also has a 7-day challenge, a blog, and stuff like that. And if you were to use this template too, remember we talked about figuring out who your audience is. So you can easily walk through and change this to be targeted to who it is, maybe change the imagery and stuff like that to who it would be for. But I think your minimum website, you want to have a homepage, obviously, with an introduction to who you are, perhaps a video of yourself if that is something you would like to do, but it is something that will create more connection with your audience. They'll see who you are. And then your library, we have a meditations library here, and I will show you a bit more of that as well. And your about page that really reflects like what you wanted to do. Let's have a look at this one. So in this case, you can just update your photo. We've written a pre-written one here, obviously, but you'll want to update that. Again, if you use ChatGPT, you could paste something like this into ChatGPT and say, hey, I want to update this about page to reflect more about what I do. I actually am doing guided meditations for busy moms and add the extra information and then it can come up with a new way of expressing that. Obviously, read through it, make sure it reflects what you want it to be. And obviously, you want to have a contact form so people can get in touch with you. And you do want to be open to people. Also, you'll find that people will contact you who maybe also do meditations or they do other stuff. So there's potential to have collaboration. So make sure you do have a contact page. In the case of Noomu, this is all automated, easy to use. It goes to your inbox and it also goes under your contacts, everything that you can see the messages that come in for you. Other optional things that you might want to add is a shop, right? With different products. We put planners in here for you. But obviously, I think you'd want to tie it more when you develop more stuff. You want to tie it more in there. Maybe you also want to add a meditation to some of these products here as well, so that they have that, not just the planners as well. And a blog, obviously, that's the way to drive traffic, right? To make content based on specific topics. In this case, we loaded up this template with how to start meditating when you can't sit still, the 5 types of meditation, and how to know which one's right for you, why 5-minute meditations can change your whole day. And these are great because you can create content that targets certain keyword phrases and it increases your chances of getting traffic from search engines. But it also can help navigate people into other parts of your site. And you can see here like we've recommended some meditations that are on the site, and it also links them into the 7-day challenge that you would like people to register for and get into. So let's take a quick peek of how you might want to organize your meditations. I think categories are good. In this case, we set it up with the categories that we have in the guided meditation kit. But if you have a specific focus, you can easily update this to being whatever categories that you want to use. But one thing we did, so I'm going to just click through and I'm going to show you these personal development topics. So we have loaded it up already with 2 meditations per category. I think that if you're going to add 2 on the page, because it's a small library, you don't need to put each one on that individual page. But as it grows, you probably do want to put each meditation on its own page because you're going to targeting the keyword phrases. You probably need to also have a little bit more text, and that will help drive more traffic because there's more content that Google and other search engines can pick up on and you can have that. But you don't have to worry about that right now. Or you could post your meditations in a blog and it organizes by category for you. You can also add on here, and a lot of websites, maybe you can have comments right at the bottom. If you're using WordPress, you can have comments. So that adds that engagement kind of thing into it. We did a 7-day meditation challenge for beginners because challenges are a great way to start building your list. People are there to develop a certain habit, right? So if you're using a challenge, it's a great way to introduce them to the concept of meditation, or maybe you're going to do a different type of challenge that is for people who are already experienced and they're going to be trying to achieve a certain result. 7-day challenges are great because you have people completing these simple tasks. Like in this case, it's finding your breath, body awareness. Each day there is a meditation that we connect them with that they can watch for that day's challenge. But it's simple tasks that they're doing and they are going to get benefit from it, right? So they are going to be seeing the results. They're going to walk through this. Even if they ended up doing 3 days, they're still going to see the results. And that connects them more concretely to you because you help them see something or achieve something. And then it's easier to get them to purchase different programs or courses that you would like to invite them to. I'm going to turn the screen sharing off for a second because I want to go back to you guys and I want to just make sure we're all good. It looks like the 7-day challenge is on there. Is that always there loaded or is it an opt-in? So on the template that we have, there's no opt-in before it, but you can certainly put one in there. You can actually control, you can charge money to enter your challenge if you wanted. I think on a simple challenge like that one's kind of meant to be free, I think. You can also make it so people can't see it and they have to register to see it, or they can only see the main page. And in order to get started, they have to register. There's lots of controls over that community, the Circle platform. And we have tutorial videos. If you saw when I was looking at that page, there was a link to a tutorial. It walks you step by step. We even have a whole challenge to help create challenges that I know some of you actually did create the challenges with theirs. And I think our templates make it really easy to get it started. You can also have it so that they are tracking their progress too, so that they click when they've done day one and they can't see day two until they're finished. If you want to set it up, there are lots of different ways to control it. Sonia says, sorry, I have my laptop in the way. I was thinking of a 7-day challenge for peace in the holidays. Would the meditations 7-day be helpful for this? So you're saying the one that we have here? I mean, you could, because you could just, I mean, you could take the different meditations. Let me share the screen. And now I'm going over to the website, and I really hope you can see what I'm looking. So the question about the holidays, these are still things, right? That finding your breath, body awareness, guided visualization, clarity, and these are all things that would help somebody through the holidays. And you can just customize this challenge. Say, okay, the holidays are really busy and sometimes it's hard to take a moment for yourself, but you will find if you just take a few seconds, whether you're in the car, going and you're heading into the mall, the busy mall and going crazy, just take a moment and you'll find that you can use this every time and it helps bring you calm. So you could totally update that. Obviously, you can even change the graphic or anything about it to make it more holiday themed. I think you could just customize it easily that way. I'm not sure if I hope that was the question. If I misunderstood what you were thinking of, then let me know. Yeah, and you can also edit the meditations, right? In your guided meditation kit, you guys have the script. So you could also bring those scripts back to ChatGPT, say, who is my audience? I'm making a 7-day challenge. I want this meditation to be relevant to them for this, or that they get this benefit out of it. And you can even edit your scripts, and then you can either do your own voice, or in the training, you saw that you can use like 11 labs to use there's lots of tools that you can use for AI voice. I think an AI voice, sometimes you got to listen to it. I think the voice that, because as ours is machine generated, the voice that then it's not exactly perfect in like the stopping and the different sounds, but we chose a voice specifically that seemed to do quite well with that. So you can also search that or record them yourself. Or you can also hire people. You can probably hire people on Fiverr for not too much money and have them record them for, yeah. Diane says re-record in your own voice. That's easy enough to do, right? If you're doing 35 minutes of meditations over 7 days, if they're 5-minute meditation. Yeah. Diane has great ideas. All right. Okay. So let's just go back and let's hope I just get this right off the bat and go back here. So some tips for your website too is obviously keep the visuals. I think you want calmness. You want to exude calmness, and maybe that's how you want to look for the color palette. Maybe not anything too super bright, and keep it uncluttered and also consistent, right? Like you'll see when you go through here, it all looks the same. They're following the same format to go through to the different pages and stuff like that. I think also if you want to, this one on the main page, you'll see that we have a little introduction. Then there's the meditations, but also the offer to get the free meditation journal. And they sign up for that. I think that might even want to have that on this part on all your meditations pages, or if there's something more relevant that's free, you want to create a path for them. So let's say you have this healing from makeup meditation, but you have some free guide or something that goes with it. I would put that down below and make sure, because you want them to go from your site to listening to something, getting some value out of it, and going onto your list. And then once they're on your list, easier to promote products to them. And don't give them too much also. So in the case of where you would say have this one meditation on the one page, just give them one free thing to go do next. Don't send them the more choices that they have, especially after they're relaxed after their meditation. Less likely they're going to make a choice. And make it as targeted as possible. So this free meditation journal that is on the site, that one is a catch-all. It goes for a lot of different things. But if you're going to focus on certain topics or certain types of meditations, having content, whether it's workbooks or planners or journals, whatever tools you want to offer, try to make it more specific to those really important topics that you have. And you could customize the journal like this to different audiences as well. And I think we started talking about opt-ins because we do have this opt-in. I think it's important if you're not using our template, you're going to build your own website. You definitely want to have a way for people to sign up for your list. So you want to make sure that if you got you probably have some private label rights content that would fit in with that, but always take the time to customize that and put it towards your audience. If your audience is athletes, why would it be relevant to them? And you don't have to do a lot to change it. You can also, again, take the content of, say, you have a report on focus or something like that. If you want it to be for athletes, you can put that content also into AI and ask for examples that would apply to athletes, or talk about what kind of athletes. Maybe they're student athletes, maybe it's college athletes, professional athletes, whatever, or specific sport. Give that information and that background detail to ChatGPT or whatever tool you're using. Ask for examples, ask for it to be more relevant to this audience. I usually like to ask it. I don't usually like to feed it in and just say, do it for me. I say, what would you do? What would you add here? So that you can make sure that it is relevant, because AI sometimes does go off in the wrong directions. And you just want to brainstorm with it before it helps you create more content. And then it goes off in a direction that you're not expecting it to go to. As test suggestions for testimonials for sales pages. That's a great question and something you should always focus on. For many years, we often would just have on every product download page a link that says, let us know what you think. And it was a form that was positioned in that it was available for them to give feedback. So whether it was negative or positive, but we also asked if it was okay to share their feedback, and they would either check the box or not check the box. So we would get feedback from people who maybe had some constructive criticism to share, and then sometimes it was more like a testimonial. But that way we're getting good feedback, and it's part of it's an automated process. You can also in email, like an email series after they buy the product. I don't think ask for that right away. Create like a little email series that talks about the product, helps them figure out like how to use it, draws them to different parts, really illustrates what's great about the product. And then in a few days ask them for their feedback or ask for a testimonial. I like to ask for feedback and say, because I want people to feel welcome to do that. And I think that people are very responsive to that. And also getting that constructive feedback is helpful as well. In addition to that, having a community is a great place, or anywhere where you're leaving place for comments and asking people questions, that the discussion is just happening organically. And a lot of those comments that people make are actually testimonials. If they're public, then they are public information, but you can also just ask people. If it's in private, ask them if you can share a screenshot of it. And the screenshots of discussions, like whether it's in a Facebook group or it's in your own community, those add some like credibility to it, especially if it's in Facebook, I think, because it looks familiar to people. They know it's got their first and last name usually, and it's good content to share. You could also, if it's a big program and you don't have any customers yet, why not allow somebody that you know that could really use it and will also take action on it? Because you can ask people and they'll be like, yeah, I'll do it. Ask people to review it. Make it so it's attractive to them, that it's something that they could really use, or it could be professionals that are in the same audience as you, and you're just asking them to have a look at it. Just like on books, when people publish books, there's often a note from somebody who's famous and has credibility, and they give their opinions about books because they're just given a review copy. So you can do that as well. But it's definitely something to focus on because it helps, not obviously the social proof that people are getting this, they're getting the result. You can also do case studies. You could also interview people who have used your product. It's not exactly a testimonial, but it does the same thing. It offers social proof. It's people are getting results and they're happy about that they're going to want to do the same thing, but makes people feel like they might be missing out. It creates community. It puts faces to the people who are hanging around your website and who are in your communities. It acknowledges your audience too, right? The people you're like, you tell, I'm so proud of what you've done. Do you mind sharing a little few details? Like, I've seen how you been able to do this and that. Do you want to talk about that on an interview, or do you mind submitting something that I could share because we'd love to share your story? So definitely using that to your advantage. And I think that's more important than ever too with our algorithm frustrations, right? Where we're not shown stuff, but if we can build our little own community and groups of people that are really interested in what we're about, and then we win. Because, yeah, we can't always compete with the big guys, but we can do things on a much more personal level than they can. Right. Did Scott post a joke or something? Or no? Oh, no. I missed your joke, Scott. Was a serious comment, it looked like. Right. Getting started to build my list is my biggest challenge right now, and it's worth doing. And if you guys have seen with our new, if you're using Noomu, we're doing those free funnels every week. They're tools to help you grow your list, right? People sign, and they're all on different topics and stuff like that. We have that free meditation journal was one of our free funnel Fridays. It's incorporated into this website template now, but we're trying to take away that hard work for you. Obviously, you want to add your own personality, you want to add stuff to it, but having that setup already done where they can opt in, they sign up, and then they go to the thank you page, it helps a lot. But yeah, come up with one core offer at least to start with, a free offer, and really work hard on promoting that. So that the free offer that you have should have its own page probably, and you'll use that in your signature, in emails and stuff like that. You will put that in your social media profiles instead of like your social media profiles going to the main page of your website. Send it to something free that they can get, something that's going to grow your list and make it nice and valuable that they're going to want to do that. Also, on your blog post, you want to be sending people either putting the opt in right into your post or sending them to the page where they can sign up. Like, really put the focus on that and the flow of your website into getting them into those opt in offers. When you do create an opt in offer, you can just have the one welcome email, which is standard, and then you add them to your list and you're sending a newsletter. And that can get a little overwhelming and also might not be super targeted. Try to make a series of emails that kind of welcomes them and shows them around your website, the other awesome things you have. And in there also, you'll probably mention your products and stuff like that. Let me just go and I'll just show you on the screen too here. So we're in Noomu in particular, and if no matter what email for platform you use, you have the ability to do this. So it's under messages and workflow for us and under automations. And you can see this one has an automation for when they sign up. So when they sign up, they get this tag. When they fill in the form, they're tagged, and then they're going to get this welcome email. But you can add on to this email series. You would put like maybe one day later, and then you would add another send email or something like that. And I'm just going to leave it up, but you can continue on. So the first email so this email just basically gets them to download it, gives them tips, and then one suggestion on how to get started. But the next emails can talk about other things on your site. So maybe you look at the journal and it has some prompt. Maybe you can lead them back to a meditation that's on the website somewhere or something like that. And you want to just build that, warm up them, invite them to the 7-day challenge. Maybe there's a blog post that will give them some insight, but do it in a friendly, helpful way. You're not just saying, I have this 7-day challenge. you're saying why you think that would be useful for them, given that they downloaded this and maybe they did the prompt on page whatever, and then this would be a great follow up, or this is a good meditation for them. So when you do that automated series, you are creating more connection with that audience, and it doesn't have to go on forever. So you could do 5 to 7 emails, and then they get moved to your main list where you might be sending your newsletter and stuff like that. But by then they're already familiar with you. And so you're not just like throwing them right into the middle of whatever you might be sending in your newsletter. It warms them up, gives them the tools. They get to familiar with what's on your site. They get familiar with some of your products as well. Hi, Jackie. Thanks for coming. No worries. And Scott says, I'm about 2/3 through the Grow Your Business course, right? Then that's a great training if you guys happen to have that. It's Grow Your Business in 2 to 3 hours a day. It's on eKit Hub University. I see Teresa has her hand, so I'm going to get to you very next. I didn't notice that was a feature here. So that's a great training because it helps you. Because I know a lot of people who are like you guys, you have lots of things going on, healthy things to take care of, careers, or you are in the midst of trying to retire, or you're caregiving for other people. That training helps you like get really focused, and it's based on doing 3 activities a day that grow your business. So thank you for mentioning it, Scott. And it was Teresa. I think you put your hand down, but if you're still here and you had a question, I'm happy. And you can do that on the mic if you'd like. Okay, maybe not. Maybe you put your hand down because you are okay now. But we'll come back. All right. So let's talk about monetization too. Obviously, it can be your own products, companion products to your meditations. Maybe there's a gratitude meditation and you have a gratitude journal or some kind of thing that will help them bring that into reality even more. You could also, like, when you're creating products for the first time, the tendency often is to think it has to be this big, giant thing that you have to create something that people are just like, it becomes your life's work, but it shouldn't have to be. You can do small, little, inexpensive products, like whether it's journal, it's a workbook, could be a worksheet, checklist, it could be different things. And you can just add those into your shop. And then when you've got quite a few, you bundle it together. I think that's the easiest way to do it. I've always tried to do that because it feels frustrating and it feels like you're never going to get it launched if you're trying to make this big giant product. Just pick one problem that your audience has, create something simple for them, throw it in your shop, tell your audience about it, see how it goes. But then later, when you have this larger volume of products, you can create those bundles. You can also do bump offers and upsells and stuff like that. But trying to do an entire funnel right off the bat, unless you are ready to do that, absolutely do that. But if you're short on time or you feel like you're not really sure if that idea is going to work, doing these smaller little products and connect them to your meditation specific topics, then that will be easier. You could also make a membership, and it could be a free membership or a paid membership. If you amass this really big library of meditations, having people opt in to access it makes perfect sense. As for charging them, I think that you will need to offer something that is unique. Maybe you have an active community that people want to be a part of, or maybe you give different tools that are related, then that could be possibly a paid membership, something that they are going to keep getting value from, that they're going to want to keep coming back for. But also, you don't have to have your own product, right? At all. You can find products that you promote through an affiliate program. And hopefully everybody knows what an affiliate program is. But if not, that's okay. I'll briefly explain it. It's just when you sign up with a company and they give you a special link. And then when you make a sale by referring people to them, then you get a commission. We've made a short list of different things, different apps and things that you might want to join their affiliate program. But I think it really depends on what your specific audience is, what products that you'll want to promote to them. Let me just open up thing here. And even like Amazon and Etsy has an affiliate program. You can love the commission with Amazon, but you can find all kinds of products there, right? There's like productivity apps like to do Skillshare, ClickUp. Mind Valley has an affiliate program apparently. And if you're doing financial meditations and stuff, like you need a budget, they have an affiliate program. BetterHelp has an affiliate program. Talkspace has an affiliate program, but you want to think about what your audience needs. And if you are part of your audience, then talk about the products that you use, right? What do you use? And you're the best person to share that kind of stuff. You just share it like you're sharing it with a friend. As an affiliate, you don't have to do this big, like hard sell or anything like that. You just say, hey, I use this product and this is what I've done. You can take videos to show that, screenshots. There's lots of different ways for you to share that kind of information. So you would incorporate that into different videos and then maybe your meditations, a specific meditation topic, lead them to another product. It could be, I mentioned doing an opt-in offer, but you could also lead them to a product that you've used, that you've gotten results from as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the chat here on a sec. And no, Teresa didn't mean to have her hand up. No problem. Diane's asking just about Noomu on the business growth tier. Subdomains do count. Subdomain is another website. So they're all different websites. So if you already have a website and you want to use our template, then the recommendation I would have to you is that you can take elements from here. So when you're in the builder, you can copy blocks and then you can do it between your sites. It'll appear there and you'll be able to do that. We do not mind if you do that. You're a new customer. You can use our content and mix it up how you'd like. But yeah, if you do a subdomain, it does count as a separate website. I don't see how this to get into my account. So Sonia's already getting to work here. Let me just go back to where we were in the training and I'm going to show you how you can add it in there and I'll share all the stuff with you. Yeah, so we covered that. Actually, I think we're doing pretty good. So let's talk about that. And I'm also going to share the brainstorming and any other links I wanted to share with you. Also, so opt-in offers, going back to those, we talked about like meditation journal, a 7-day challenge. You can do like pop-ups, and those are built into Noomu as well. We even have the meditation journal as a pop-up. There are quizzes that we have as well. Quizzes are another great way to really warm people up. And there are other tools. If you're not using Noomu, quizzes, obviously unique to Noomu, there's other ways to make them. But let me show you the quizzes that we have and talk about why quizzes can be quite useful. So I'm just going to go down to the bottom because I know the quizzes are here. So we have a personal growth quiz, online business, may or not be relevant, daily wellness, authentic relationships. They match a lot of the categories of the guided meditations. But quizzes are great because they also warm up your audience, right? They are getting engaged in this topic. They are answering questions and they are starting to think about what they need help with, right? And through the process of doing the quiz, they get their results and you give them some bit of wisdom. You have warmed them up a lot, and that makes them a better prospect as well to be a more loyal member of your audience and to be a customer and stuff like that. So those are perfect. I did want to draw your attention to that. We also have the pop-ups. So I'm going to put this link in the chat in case you don't have it. And then just because I'm here, I can also log in and show you how to add the website. And I'll also share the brainstorming sheets for today. So here is our pop-up. So we have a bunch of pop-ups as well. And you can see that when you make a pop-up, and there's tutorials for everything too, how to add it in and stuff like that. You don't want to sign up. If you're already using Noomu, don't sign up for Noomu through these pages because it'll create a new account, but it's just showing you what we have. But the videos that we have show you how to do it from inside your account. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the link for the brainstorming sheet and checklist and monetization ideas list that came. So your tools for today's training. It'll help you come up with the ideas for your website. There we go. It's just the Dropbox link there. It'll help you come up with the niche ideas, how you're going to structure your website, what products you might want to put in there. It also includes a checklist of the things that we talked about and keep you on track in getting your website up and running. And it also has the monetization ideas. So ideas for different products and some links to potential affiliate programs. And so Sonia was also asking, how do you add? So If you're brand new, you would go to the main page of Noomu and you would just click the try it for free and it'll walk you through signing up, and then it'll also let you pick a template. So we can go under my sites and funnels. You would go website and you would go create new website. And now you're brought to all the template. It's in the category of turnkey with products and blog, and you'll see it down here. So you just select that and that will add that website into there. So you'll have everything, the homepage, the about page, the free offer, and the automation will be there, the 7-day challenge, the blog posts and everything, and the products that are in the shop, the planner products. All right. Does that look all right, Sonia? You'll be able to find that one, I think. Yeah, I see you. Don't worry. Awesome.
But you have to be on the top plan to do that. Either you have to just have the one website or be on that top tier. So I need to upgrade to that before I do this.
Yeah. So so there's one website in the starter and the business, and then the digital empire allows for more than one website.
So yeah, I'm still struggling with my first funnel. So my reward after getting the first funnel done is then I can upgrade it. But I always get ahead of the game with all of these ideas. And I'm like, okay, do the burnout one and then get that started in my list. And then I can go on to other things. But you guys are just so wonderful because y'all have so many great ideas for me.
Yeah, that's what we want. We don't want you to get back. But yeah, that's what we're here for, right? In the early years, if you guys have been around for a long time, we made a lot of PLR and stuff like that, but you still had to implement it. So now we're trying to take it to the next level where a lot of it's done for you, and then you can make it your own. But the core of everything is there. You don't have to get stuck in the technology and stuff like that. And then this one, actually, the guided meditations, I would say this website is pretty ready to go. So does anybody have things they want to brainstorm, like where you're looking at using guided meditations and how to maybe put it to a certain audience, or anything at all? Anything at all, doesn't matter what tool you're using. Not that I can troubleshoot other software, but I might have some experience with different pieces of software. So give you some ideas as well, because we want to make sure that you guys are using this content. You're able to use it and put it into action. All right. Oh, you're welcome, Cheryl. Yeah, we'll do that for sure. Where do you store the MP? Oh, I actually wanted to tell you guys that too. So we have uploaded all the video, it's not a video, it's like an audio, but it's in video format. All all those meditations that are in your kit, we have uploaded them so that you can, if you don't want to go through the process of uploading them, because you'll notice when we look, oh my goodness, let me get back. I hope it'll let me back. Yes, it does. When we looked at the meditations here, they are, oh yeah, go here. Sorry. Spirituality. They are YouTube links, right? Because that's the only way we could do it. If we upload the videos, then you guys will have to have the video hosting and stuff. But audios are actually quite nice. In Noomu specifically, different platforms have different ways to add audios, but it is built in, like audio players are built into Noomu. And it goes here on the side. So you have widgets here. There's video, audio. I'll show you what the audio player looks like. I don't know if I have to turn that. Let me see if I upload a file. Let me see if I can do it quickly for you. So let's just go here and we're going to upload this audio. And then it's just a player, right? So it doesn't have the thumbnail and stuff, but you can always use text or add your own graphic if you want to have a graphic. But these audios are just part of your regular storage for your website. And these short audios don't take up that much space, but you can absolutely upload audios. So when you go under here, it's under media. You can add a video. You can add a video playlist. That involves videos that you upload. So that was just me uploading the audio widget, and then I uploaded the audio and it looks like this. This is the video, that's separate, right? It just looks like that. And that doesn't take up it's not related to the video hosting. So it's just like adding any other file to your site. And then these are linked to from a channel that we put up there for you to make it easier. And I showed you that when you click on the video widget, You can upload a video if you want to, or you can just link to it. And then we have also made it easier for you. We've uploaded all the video format of the meditations to this YouTube channel so that you can just link to them. And in this case, this is just a video widget, and you can upload your own videos if you want, or you can put a link to YouTube. And if you're not ready to do it yourself, like maybe you plan to customize some of the meditations and you want to add your own voice, but you haven't done it yet, you can just link to the ones on the channel. And I'm going to give you the link to the channel. And I also have a spreadsheet where we put all the lists of videos. So now I should be able to give you those links. Channel with the meditation and then the spreadsheet. So you're welcome to just link to those because that will just make it easier again for you to just get it up there, and then you can customize it and do it more the way you want it when you have time. Because sometimes that's also frustrating. I think it can be when you're taking so long to build something and you're not seeing the results. But if you're in the case of where you get your website up and running quickly, you're just linking to the videos we've uploaded for now, you can start growing your audience. And then you can see how they respond to stuff and what you would want to change about it, what you want to customize more for them, that you're not spending all this time doing that tweaking and things when you don't even know who's going to be attracted, what they're going to want, and how you're going to serve them best. Alina, can I download the video and create my own audio? These are the videos that are in your guided meditation kit already. So they're not new ones. They're the same ones. So you already have access to those files. If you did buy the kit a while ago, we only have the MP3s in there, but we've updated it. If you go back into your members area in eKid Hub University under guided meditation, and you go to the download folders again, you'll be able to grab those MP4s because MP4s are the videos, the MP3s are so they have that thumbnail built into the video and you can use those. So we've already done that conversion for you. That is in your files. So if you download it before, we did it this week. So if you are a previous customer, you don't know that, but you can go back in and download. I hope that answers the question. So is there anything else that you feel like you indeed, you're welcome, Alina, need to get started and figure out how you're going to get your guided meditations website out there? And of course, it doesn't have to be focused on guided meditations. Obviously, you can focus your website on anything and then incorporate meditations into that as well. All right. I appreciate you guys coming. I'm glad that we were able to do this and put something together for you. And Sky asks, do you recommend making my videos unlisted or make them freely accessible on YouTube? Yeah, if they're for customers only, then you probably want to have them unlisted. And if you're sharing them free on your website, definitely make them public because you can at least benefit from the YouTube algorithm as well, or wherever you're hosting it. Yeah. You're welcome, Larth. Sonia's ready to party. That's one of my favorite emojis too. You're welcome, Joyce. All right, if you guys are all right, we were again. We'll get the recording. We'll do some editing, edit out the part where the screen wasn't being shared, and that'll get put in your members area. All the downloads, all the links I mentioned to you today, so you don't need to worry. But you have a couple seconds if there's any links you want to grab from the chat. But it'll be there. It'll be there by Friday for sure, and we'll look forward to seeing what you guys have. And be sure to share your progress. Would love to see how you guys customize if you use the Noomu sites or what you create on your own from scratch. Would be awesome. All right. Thank you again. And we'll see you next time.